Hi, welcome to another reading vlog. Is it week 3 of the Owls? I haven't kept track. Yes, it's week 3 of the Owls. Well, the first full week of the Owls. So I guess maybe that's week 4. Let's call it week 4. Week 4 of the Owls. I have today, it's Monday, read a story from It's a Whole Spiel. I have a whole, like, 3 stories to go, I think. Yeah, 3 stories left, so we'll be finishing this week. I've been reading Horror Store by Grady Hendrix on audio. And I've been enjoying that. It's funny. It's a, like, IKEA horror, and it's really entertaining. I'm up to page 55 in The Midnight Lie, which I started last night, so I haven't read any of this yet today. But the goal from here on out, I have work in like an hour, is to read some of this. I'm eating a schnitzel. I'm gonna read some of this and then go to work. I'll take this with me to work, and I want to read quite a bit of this tonight. Most of it tonight, if I can. I want to really like slam through it to then get started on some other things. I don't know. I'm really in the mood to read and really in the mood to read a lot. So I'm gonna slam through this. Tomorrow I've got a lot of my uni work to do during the day. It's pretty busy on uni work. So I'm gonna see how I go. But I won't be able to listen to my audiobook at all, pretty much all day. So it's definitely gonna be a like work focused day, but I will try and get some reading done. I love schnitzel. This homemade Jewish is the best. Okay, I will update you later on how I'm feeling about The Midnight Lie. Currently, I'm like, I'm enjoying the writing and the premise and the plot, but I fully acknowledge this is a discussion about class and power dynamics, which is something that Maria Rutkowski really focuses on. But I feel like it could definitely have the potential, and I'm pretty sure her first series is the same. I know a lot of people find it harmful in the way it approaches discussions of power and power dynamics. And I feel like I don't want to discredit her in that I think it's pretty empathetic, but and just the potential to belong to like a marginalized group in her area. Like, power dynamics don't just exist in like the big ones. Like within countries in Europe have their own power dynamics of like underclasses and upper classes, and how different groups of people are treated. So I don't want to discredit that she probably has some level of first-hand experience, or like familial experience and familial trauma related to power dynamics. I think to write the kind of story she writes, that would have to be the case, but, or almost certainly, but definitely if, like, it definitely also has the potential to harm others of similar but different experiences in the way it portrays them. That makes sense. So it's not perfect. It also does deal, so if The Winner's Curse bothered you because it dealt a lot with power dynamics, I think this is also the case, but the romance isn't, as far as I can tell, centered around that power dynamic. So if that bit was particularly the bit that was icky to you in the Winner's trilogy, I don't think that's the case here, but the world is really focused. I'm pretty sure it's the same, like set in the same universe, and the world is, and the overarching themes are incredibly based on power differentials between groups, and oppression. So if that's something that you have specific voices you prefer to read from, consider that. Like, as I said, I'm sure she has familial experience with oppression in some form, especially considering, like, but it would be a Eurocentric, not dealing with colonialism in the same way, if that makes sense, as other narratives and other voices. So take that into consideration. But the relationship dynamic in the couple, I don't think is as potentially icky as The Winner's trilogy. It makes sense. So I'm enjoying it so far. The Main character, I'm also unsure whether the main character is meant to be experiencing some kind of psychosis or whether it's part of the magic system. So I will update more on how I think that's handled once I get a full grasp of what O.W.L was trying to do. But I'm enjoying my ride. I love her writing style and her like prose. So we're having a fun time.
Which, although does mean first day of the owls, also meant new season on Animal Crossing. The start of the Easter activities on Animal Crossing. New fish, new bugs. So I played a lot of Animal Crossing today.
So I ended up reading like hardly anything today. I ended up on FaceTime for most of the night with April and Paige, which is very fun, but I read like 50 pages the whole night. Just, oh. I'm planning to read like 150 pages, but you know, sometimes we get distracted. So I'm now like 100 pages into the Midnight Live. I am really enjoying it. The writing style is really good. There are some things going on. I do think there are things in this that could be potentially triggering or harmful. I am a bit concerned about the main character's like potential like magical psychosis, and I still haven't decided how that's being treated within the narrative. So I think that'll be see how it plays out by the end. But I do really love the dynamic. We got introduced to the love interest in the like 50 pages I read tonight. And I do really love their dynamic. It's super fun. She's like snarky, bit of like a devil may care attitude, and I'm really excited to see how she brings out the best in Nira, our main character. So I'm really excited about that. And anyway, I'm gonna go to bed now. It's freaking late and I have a lot of work to do tomorrow. But yeah. But I will do that tomorrow. Hi, it's Wednesday. It's currently like 11, so I've got to get cracking into my work. It's like 11:15. So I really need to get cracking into my work. But I've been playing Animal Crossing this morning because one of our villagers left, so I was trying to hunt for a new villager. Didn't even find one I liked, but we'll come back to that later in the day. I've also been, last night I started a New Leaf Village on my DS, which I have never properly played before, so that's exciting. So we've got like 2 things going on. My goal for today around doing work is to finish 2 audiobooks. Horror Store, which I'm like 75% of the way through. So that should definitely be finished. And Riot Baby, which is like less than a 4-hour audiobook. So I feel like I'll finish both of those during my like work hours. Because I've kind of got some repetitive mindless tasks to do today. And then I have 2 short stories and then I would be finished with its whole spiel. So I'm tempted to slam through both of those today, just to be able to tick it off. And then I've got about 150 pages, just over 150 pages left in The Midnight Lie. And this is super fast paced. So if I actually sit down and dedicate some time to it, I think I could finish this. We're gonna try. I'm gonna settle in and start doing some work, and I will update you how things go. So just had the story that was today's story in It's a Whole Spiel, and I didn't like it. It's probably the first one from the collection that I really didn't like. I found it's called Ashara. It was Adi Al-Said's story. Al-Said. And I really struggled. I'm not sure if I know why, but I found it really hard to engage. My mind kept wanting to wander. It didn't really have a strong plot. It was just like a weird exploration. I didn't get it. I wanted to take something from it and I just, nothing. I don't understand. And my brain just kept wandering, which was not good because it kept trying to wander in anxious directions. But, like, I don't understand. Like, it's bizarre. But hey, it is what it is. Yeah, it was very strange. I'm not sure what was happening. And I didn't like it. But the next one is by Nova Suma. I'm gonna go sort out something for dinner and then I'm gonna read that, I think. And then we're gonna try and slam through the last of the Midnight Light. I've got half an hour-ish left on the audiobook I'm listening to, which is Riot Baby, and then we've listened to 2 audiobooks today, and we're gonna try and read 2 physical books. We're getting there. Okay, so I just want to talk a bit briefly about what something I think The Midnight Light does incredibly well, and that is explore themes of toxic relationships and abuse and manipulation and gaslighting. Our main character Niram is of a kind of like an oppressed class where their whole existence is kind of gaslit by the government, but then she has like a maternal figure that is abusive towards her and really manipulates her in the kind of way where our main character is carrying a whole heap of trauma, but she kind of doesn't see it. At least I'm like, maybe I'm just over halfway, and she still hasn't really grasped, like, she's still in that stage of feeling like she's the one doing things wrong, when this maternal figure and also a boy who she's kind of been seeing because he provides mutual benefit, like, to her, but he also manipulates her and is also incredibly abusive towards her. Both of them very much manipulate her into feeling like she's the one in the wrong, and the whole culture kind of does that. So it's kind of these multiple layers of this like manipulation into feeling like she's the one who is hurting others rather than the other way around. So she'll justify to herself how they must be feeling to lash out at her and how that's her fault. But their position in society means that the whole like governmental system blames her caste for everything, and they feel like it's their place, that they should be downtrodden or whatever, I guess. So it's these multiple layers of like manipulation and abuse, and I think it portrays it pretty well, but it might be contentious. I don't know. I really like it. I think it's very carefully done, that all of these different characters show different examples of how that abuse can present, and I think it's really, yeah, I think it's well done, but other people might disagree with me. I don't know. I think that's the kind of thing, like, if your experiences are very different, you might respond differently to the way it's portrayed. I'm not sure, but I personally think it's really well done. So welcome to Thursday. I have emotions. I just finished this. I was trying to finish it yesterday, as you well know, but I got a bit tired. I had like 40 pages left, so I just finished them this morning. And I'm emo. I'm not giving this a 4 stars because I do think it falls short on a bit of the plotting. It's a pretty simple plot. It's really, the focus of the book is more on relationships and interpersonal relationships than the plot. So although it wasn't like predictable to me, it was a bit, the plot was a bit one-dimensional. I just didn't have all these like cool twists and turns that like our other series did. But the dynamics between the characters, which is where it really shines. I loved the romance. I loved that it was flirty and fun. It's like insta lusty but not insta lovey. The dynamic between them was just so good. I loved the exploration of toxic relationships and abuse, which I talked about yesterday. And then the ending destroyed me, and I'm scared for book 2. So, well, that's that done. I'm currently also listening to Jane the Steel by Lindsay Faye, which I'll be working on today. And I'm going to pick up The Sword and the Stars by Amy Rose Capetta and Corey McCarthy. next, which is going to be my fill-in for Charms. I was going to read Ruthless Gods, but it still hasn't arrived, so I'm going to read that instead. And I think I'll start that next, which will be the last proper subject for the O.W.Ls, and then I've got a book to read for the dragon riding prompt, or dragon training, dragon keeping prompt. So that's this done. I gave it 4 stars just because I think, yeah, the technical elements, especially of the plot, were a bit lacking, but like emotionally, it's a 5 star. It was so good. Did I entirely forget to turn on my camera yesterday? Highly possible. I read some of Jane Steele that I'm listening to. I'm really enjoying it. It's a Jane Eyre retelling, but Jane Eyre's a serial killer, which is called Jane Steele. And it's pretty fabulous. I'm like maybe a third of the way in, and I'm really enjoying it so far. I'm also 100 pages into Sword in the Stars by Amy Rose Capetta and Corey McCarthy. I'm enjoying this, but I had a whole moment on FaceTime with April and Paige yesterday where I think I see a plot twist coming, and I don't know if I like it. We'll see, but I'm gonna try and crack through most of this today, if not all of it. But I do have a lot of work to do as well, so we'll see how we go, but I'm gonna try and slam through as much of this as I can. Yeah, I don't think I'll have much time to listen to Jane Steele today. I'll try and listen to a little bit, but we're gonna focus on the physical read and work. I feel like I keep forgetting to pick up the camera, but it's Saturday. I have work this evening. I'm halfway through, or just over halfway through Sword in the Stars, and I want to finish this today. It should pick up, like, it's 150 pages left. It should pick up the pace in this last section, so I think it's reasonable. I'm enjoying this, but there's some plot twists that I'm like thinking might happen, which I'm not a fan of the idea of, but they haven't happened yet, so maybe not. Maybe I was thinking the wrong direction. But I do want to see how this ends. As with the first book, it does kind of like skim through events really fast. But that doesn't bother me overly. And I love the character dynamics. So that's kind of the strong point of the series for me. Plus I love Arthur retellings. Like Arthurian legend is just fun no matter what. And then I'm listening to Jane Steele by Lindsay Fay. I've got about 5 full hours, or just under 5 full hours left, so it's like 2.5 hours on double speed. And I'm going to listen to that today at the times I'm playing Animal Crossing. So my plan is to finish this, get most of the way through that, but also read a chunk of The Dragon's Apprentice, which is, so if I finish this is the last prompt for the main O.W.Ls, and then the dragon training is this. So this is a middle grade. It's got pretty big text. It's only like 300 pages. So I would like to get a huge chunk through this and finish it tomorrow, and then also finish Jane Steele tomorrow. Is the plan. I want to kind of line up finishing this and the audiobook around the same time, or like not, I want to drag the audiobook out until this is finished, because I don't want to dedicate myself to the audiobook until I finish this, because the next thing I'm going to read after both of those is something I want to listen to and read along at the same time. So though theoretically I could start another audiobook. I don't know. Maybe. We'll see. But that's kind of my plan going forward. So hopefully by the end of the weekend I'll have finished those 3 things, and maybe also gotten a good chunk through The Unspoken Name, which is the one that I want to read and listen along. Some people have DNF'd it. Actually quite a few people I know have DNF'd it. So I was recommended it super highly by Darlie Radler, who runs the LGBTQ+ reads program, which I'm a part of. So she sends out a recommendation every month. And although it wasn't what she sent out to me, she recommended it to me super highly. So I picked it up on that recommendation, but I know a lot of people who've DNF'd it. So I'm a little curious, I'm a little scared. I'm not afraid to DNF it, but if I'm not enjoying it, but we will see how it goes. That's why I thought I'd listen and read along, which should keep me pushing through it if it's a bit slow, and we'll see. It also, I know it's like a high fantasy with a lot of like hard to pronounce words, so I think the audiobook could help with that. The plot twist I thought was happening is that I was predicting, I think is definitely going to happen based on what's currently happening, and I really don't know how I feel about it. So we did finish successfully this. It was a bit corny in the ending, but overall I thought it was solid. I enjoyed myself reading it. It was a fun time. I ended up giving it 3 stars. The plot twist definitely did happen, but they pulled it off decently. There was just a few corny bits, especially at the end, that kind of brought it down a little, and it's definitely got the same like ridiculously fast paced but still really character driven style that the first one has. So if you don't like the first one, you don't really like the second one, but hey, I enjoyed it, gave it 3 stars. And now I'm working on Dragon's Apprentice, which I'm like 60 pages in, but I'm gonna go start making some dinner. So that's where we're at. Alright, so I'm about to go to work. I'm not going to take my DS with me because I don't want the temptation to play Animal Crossing all night. I'm 110, I think. Yeah, pages into the Dragon's Apprentice. I want to try and slam through the majority of this tonight. So if I get through another at least 100 pages would be good when I'm at work. See how that goes, but that's my plan. I've read like hardly any of Jane Steele today. But hey, we will get more of that read tomorrow. Yeah. I'm enjoying this. It's middle grade fun, but like it's dragons. So, well, it's Sunday. I just finished the Dragon's Apprentice. I love these. They're so fun and sweet. It did go past super quickly, the middle grade, but like super fun. So this was my final thing for my owls. So I'm pleased to say we've completed every single possible prompt, and we still have like 4.5 days left of the month. So now I'm going to start a couple of things. So I'm gonna now have like 3 things on the go. I'm still listening to Jane Steele, but I'm gonna do that while I'm doing, when I can't read physically, so like if I'm cooking or playing Animal Crossing or whatever. I'm going to also start the Unspoken Name, but I'm going to listen to this at the same time. So this is when I can listen to an audiobook but also can read physically. And then I'm also going to start When We Were Magic, which will be when I'm not in a position to listen to the audiobook. So that'll be like while I'm at work. So I'll take this to work with me today and tonight. But for now, lunch is almost ready, but I'm going to start in on the Unspoken Name. Tomorrow is a day off. It's a public holiday in lieu. So I want to try and finish both of those tomorrow. It might be a push, but I really want to try. Alright, time to wrap up this vlog. Oh, I got some of my glasses. We're going. And this. What is this? Go. Oh, let me clean my glasses. I have a block of my Bane Marble. It's Monday morning, and what did we read today, or read yesterday? I ended up actually reading a shit ton yesterday. I read like 140 pages of the Unspoken Name. Obviously I'm listening to this on audio and I really enjoyed it. I got through a ton of Jane Steele, and I ended up actually finishing that this morning. I only had like 20 minutes to go on it. And I ended up giving it 4 stars. It was so fun. It's like, did I ever say Jane Steele is a Jane Eyre retelling kind of, but Jane is a serial killer, I guess, technically. But it's lovely and wholesome, and I just had a great time with it. So I give it 4 stars. It also features kind of a little bit of a, like, there was a queer character, like a female dynamic, but it's not endgame. It talks a lot about abuse and sexual assault and all kinds of shit stuff, especially in the start of the book. Like how the start of Jane Eyre is very depressing. The start of this is pretty, a lot of shitty stuff happens, but she's also killing people, so it's great. Then yeah, The Unspoken Name is a orc fantasy. Main character's an orc, but it's kind of a heisty wizardy novel more than I think a specifically orc novel, except that she has tusks. So, you know, take that as you will. I'm interested to see how it moves from here, because it seems very episodic, to say the least. Like, I feel like we hit a little high just where I am, and I'm like a third of the way. I literally just finished part 1 and I'm going into part 2, and now it's like 5 years later. I feel like we're at a totally different plot, and there's a couple of different parts, so it feels a bit episodic, but I'm not hating it. I'm enjoying my time so far, and I'm listening along on this. I've also read last night 80-ish pages, 84 pages of When We Were Magic. I'm not enjoying this as much as I thought I would, but I don't hate it by any means. It's just not exactly the tone I was expecting it to be. I was expecting the tone, so this is like a YA found family friendship group of people with magic, women, girls with magic. And I expected to read a little bit more like The Lost Coast by Amy Rose Capetta, more like whimsical and atmospheric, and it's kind of just like very contemporary, but and pretty dark. I expected it to be like funny dark, very like gallows humor, but it's not. It's just dark. So it started off with one of the girls accidentally blows off a guy's penis and kills him, and they're all trying to figure out what to do with the evidence. So that should be funny to me. Like, I expect it to be hilarious, but it's not. It's kind of more like traumatic and dark. So that wasn't what I was expecting, but I'm not hating it. So we'll see how this develops. I'm going to work on those 2 this coming week. Thank you so much for watching this vlog. We've finished the owls, all the prompts in this vlog, so that's exciting. And we've got 4 more days left in the month, so I'm going to try and finish these 2 things in the next vlog, and then get started on some Asian Readathon reads, so books by Asian authors, so I can get as many of those read before Believeathon as I possibly can. And I'm never afraid to start things before the month starts, because I'm a rebel. Say hello. Bye. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you soon in another video. Bye.